Hi everyone. I am once again in the same spot, same outfit, different day. Um, Taking my midday break. Honestly, I haven't had a lot of work this week because I think people are still getting back from the holidays, and so we like kind of wait around a little bit more until projects get assigned. So yeah, I went from like going 100 miles an hour for a few months there to like now having all these new hires at work, and I'm like all of a sudden like in this pod where I'm only doing a specific kind of work, probably. Who knows? It's like very not communicated at my job, but um, uh, at the end of the day, I'm just like not doing that much work. So I'm super happy about that. This morning I went to the workout class, which is like a interval training weights focused, sometimes cardio workout class again. And it's just like my new thing. I'm really getting a kick out of it. I have kind of replaced yoga with it. It's just like I don't want to go to that many classes. So I haven't really done yoga that much because I just needed something new, and this is so like fast. Like it goes so fast, and I don't feel like I'm really pushing myself super hard, but the way they structure it, and it's like the way it hits me like the day after, I definitely feel something. So it's really nice to like not just wing it and guess for myself what I'm doing, but like go somewhere where that they have like a regular schedule and like a well thought out, educated like program. So I'm really the just kind of that's my new favorite thing right now and giving me some energy and like not physical energy, but just like giving me like something new and to look forward to. And hopefully next week when my art classes start, it will do something similar of like some kind of novel challenge or just place to go and people to see. So in the absence of any other conversations, my birthday is in 14 days. And really, best thing about my birthday is I take the day off. And that is at least some consolation for turning a year older. So I took 2 days off this year since it's like Thursday and Friday. And I can't believe I never did that before last year. Like, I would just be like, oh, it's my birthday. Like, maybe they'll like buy me a cake at work. It's fine, not much special about this, but now it's like really important, I think, that I do that. And um, I also take off usually days for my mom's birthday too, just because I can. And even if I don't see her, it's like I'm a very good, dutiful child. So I deserve that time off. Just all the time. The time makes up for like the extra time I spend on my parents and getting that alone time for myself, like making up for the weekends when I will be going over there and seeing her and working on stuff for her. So the holidays are still coming. There's still Chinese New Year, which will be at least a big feast for family. So I guess I have been extra attentive, noticing of aging and dying and like the cultural approach and our mostly like American system when it comes to aging and dying when you're like much older. And just in the past few years, because it comes up in like philosophy and I think about it with my parents getting older and they're thinking about it, so I've shared some articles with them, some Ram Dass, the Ram Dass series on aging, hilarious. I can listen to it over and over again, especially part one. but it kind of just is questioning and dismantling like the overall attitude that Western civilizations, but like any developed civilizations, have towards death. And but especially like the years before death, when like, God forbid, you're like bedridden or just like not fully functioning, and sufficient, and just like how people approach the decline of their body, and how it really is framed in such a negative, weak, like kind of way. Whereas if you just spin it, there's so many things that come up at the end of life that are so, there are opportunities to make it so much more of a new phase in your life, like to have visions and new epiphanies and new growth and like just new chances to like go inward and just sit with yourself and reflect and do those things you didn't have time or couldn't do when you were younger, just because your body and your mind were in like in totally different space. And not to mention like all the expectations you had when you were younger to take care of people and work and be productive and like make your name. But that's, I believe, like the gist of like part one of the Ram Dass aging talk. I'm just pulling this out of my ass right now. I really hoping I didn't fact check this because I haven't listened to it in a year. But I think there's a lot to be explored, and I'm only turning 34, I think, and there's, I mean, I think it's never too early to think about death. Just like I went through my quarter life crisis when I was 22, and that wasn't like that much earlier, but I would like earlier than a midlife crisis for most, and quarter life crisis was not really a thing, I feel like, until my generation for sure, with the Great Recession, and just like more existential questions without like super stable employment, having a family and buying a house. So I think like, yeah, I had a midlife crisis essentially at 22. I'm sure it was not as hard as like the actual one, but it's like, okay, now I'm having my end of life chat with myself, and like just like, what do I want to leave at the end of that, and how will I let go, basically, and do it with grace and intelligence, when obviously biology will be having its own impact on my body. But how do I keep a sound mind and exercise the mind, I think, is going to be so much more important as you get older and you see your faculties from before and your lifestyle from before go away. And I just, yeah, why am I talking about this? I, it's just because something reminded me of it this morning when I was reading like the New York Times, the morning newsletter, about a woman who was like, I think 90 something, who almost made it to 100. Not Betty White, but R.I.P. Betty White. She was still like 98 or something, but she was this like exemplary like spark plug of an old lady who just kept trekking after so much adversity. No, literally every person who lives till 90 can say that they kept trekking through so much adversity. Life is like so filled with pain and craziness, and I am now, I hope, a third of the way through my life, which is a good time to plan ahead and be like, okay, after two more of these periods, I will be saying goodbye and hello, and then saying hello to like a new realm, I hope. I should have said earlier, like I had a dream about death that was really vivid last year. I was sleeping at my parents' house. I was like I think processing a lot of family dynamics too with my two parents. But my ultimately dream was like my dad and I were driving. He was driving a car. It was in Asia. We were speeding down this mountain, and then sort of like there was a bridge above the water, but we he took such a sharp turn that we flew off of the um, side and just like flew and landed in the water and then sank in the water and then were trapped in the car and drowned. And it was a really long, vivid dream. And I didn't at any point question that it was a dream. I was like really in that dream, thinking these are my last moments alive. And I could feel it all physically. I could feel the water, extremely cold water. I could feel like trouble breathing. And I just kept thinking it's going to happen any moment. And I did sort of regret the things I hadn't yet done, the like marriage and the kids that I hadn't yet been able to have at my age, and sort of the life ending too soon. And I kind of started convulsing too, at least in the dream, and just started getting really cold and waiting like when am I going to hit rock bottom? When am I going to my lungs going to give out? When am I going to into the darkness so I don't have to be in this pain right now? And thinking like that's not for you to decide, to just let go now. End your pain. The only way you can end your pain is to let go and give yourself over. Let go. The hands will catch you or whatever. I was just like craving that feeling, the feeling that like it's not in my power anymore. Something else is going to take over. But I couldn't let go, obviously, because like I'm not ready to face death right now. And if anything, that dream made me so much more scared of death and like obsessed a little bit. Not obsessed, but like jars me every time I start thinking about it, because I used to be pretty like I thought in touch with my dark side and in touch with mortality and writer, ennui, kind of depressed household. Like I'm comfortable with darkness, but now it's like not something I can joke about or just brush off lightly anymore. Yeah, there was no closure from that dream. Unfortunately, I just sort of woke up and was shook, and took me like 20 minutes to get back to sleep. But obviously the other side of the coin is like, yes, I'm like really grateful that I'm still alive. And since like I do think about that sometimes when I need to draw strength for something and I'm like scared or I'm nervous or I need perspective, I think about that a lot, because letting go of anything kind of in real life has been easier than like that me trying so hard to let go during um, the dream when I was drowning, and like it makes kind of everything else feel a little bit easier. But had some other death dreams since then. Like the slightest thing, those will really get me. So, just a healthy talk about death on the occasion of my birthday. Overall, I think it's a great reminder for myself. There's something peaceful that I feel about talking about this stuff, knowing it's happening, really trying to get close to it, and like without actually having getting close to it is like very cathartic. I think some people hate when I talk about this stuff, like my friends. But it like makes something scary more concrete. It's like maybe like watching a scary movie for some people. So it's something, it's good to tap into. And my transcendental meditation or like Buddhist friends have their whole other like practice and theory that like kind of relates to that, which I'm not an expert in. But yeah, there's definitely a lot there to learn about. Read a couple books right after that dream because I was like so shook. But this is just a topic we'll probably talk about again. I'll probably talk about it again on my birthday. We've got plenty of time until my birthday and until I don't have any more birthdays. And I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for listening. Bye.